Hello and welcome. This is NerdDragon88 here. We are once more doing the Dwarven Crusade. I am joined by our plentiful cast, and we'll be starting by going through the tokens here and their players. So we are going to be starting with Wolf, who's playing Sage Ventello. Ventillo?
Good evening. I'm the maskless elf. I messed that up. Okay, whatever. Just continue.
Yep, this is a one-shot. You screw it up, you're done.
Yep.
One and done, man. One and done.
Alright, next up is Bo, who's playing Bo Highhill.
Well, I mean, I would do my normal greeting, but normally Metcalf goes before me, so I guess preemptively rolling D20 for Goodberry? Flavor?
And just announce the flavor after I do mine.
Indeed, but I let me get back and do a roll real quick.
So, yes.
Then.
Oh, wait, I almost forgot. Sage, who's playing our Elven Ranger, Beastmaster. Bo, who is playing our Halfling Thief.
Ooh.
And we have Chok, who is playing...
Offer pockets. Wait, shit.
Oh! And that actually reminds me...
was just going wonderfully in it.
Chok, there was actually something I forgot to ask you about your character that kind of is relevant to you getting more abilities.
Yes.
Which is that you'll need to pick a school of magic from which to get extra abilities for.
Wait, don't I already have one? It's the Artificer tree.
Oh, that's right, you're Artificer. So yes,
Yeah.
Chok, our Artificer.
Yes.
I'd forgotten that he was Artificer. These things happen. I forget things. So, which is being played by Apocalyptian. Yeah.
You?
Then we have Lucius, aka Creed, which is being played by Kyle/Creed, or /Lucius.
You just call me Lucius? It's Lucius.
Lucius?
How dare you?
Tomato, tomato.
Wow.
They're spelled
Wow.
exactly the same way, they're just pronounced differently.
And he's triggered.
Admittedly, Lucius, the way that I pronounced it, is the kind of stuffy way of pronouncing it.
Triggered. Just play like really
Indeed
loud
it is,
music.
sir.
'Cause
Did you just assume his name?
I assumed his name by trying to read it, yes.
Just assumed his preferred name and, yeah.
Alright. So, next up is Denault Cordum, being played by Metgath.
Goodberry?
So, by the way, that was a 19. That was an extremely good berry. It was the demigod berry.
No. Demigod Berry is an at 20. So
I
it
thought
tastes
that
like
was
lemon
the god
tart.
berry. I thought that was the god berry. This is the demigod berry.
Oh.
Yeah, in our jokes earlier, a nat 20 was a godberry.
Yeah,
Okay.
so this is the demigod berry.
When did... Yeah.
Alright.
The quest, it may one day end.
So, yes.
Yeah, Nat 20 is a Gygax berry.
So-
Yes,
Yes.
that is now what it is called. The
And,
Gygax berry.
yeah, Metgath is also the one who allows us to have all of the awesome features that we get on this, including dynamic lighting.
Oh, by the way, a question to the viewers: if you guys can remember the name of the other guy who was involved in the creation of D&D, please do put it in the comments, because that's what we should call this berry.
There is that. The guy who gets basically no recognition. Because Gygax was more
Yeah,
public and was apparently kind of a dick.
So, do you want me to say his name?
I mean, if you know it off the top of your head.
Dave Arneson.
yes, that was the Arneson berry.
The Arneson berry. I like it.
Alright.
I believe he was the illustrator of all, like, the maps and such, wasn't he?
I wouldn't know that.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
So, And the last of our cast is Orsic Steelmaul, being played by Razor. We are expecting him to turn up a little bit later. And which reminds me, I need to grab my handy-dandy device. Okay. And I also need to make sure that we won't get bothered by all the dinghy noises. Because I'm a part of quite a few servers now. No, that's not what I wanted.
Dave Arneson deserves a lot of credit for what he did. He was also very important in the creation of D&D.
He was also apparently a lot nicer.
You know, I believe it. I've heard that Gygax was great with the fans, but not so great in a personal environment.
Moreover, Gygax's way of running games was particularly brutal, and he didn't care. There's a reason why he designed the Tomb of Horrors.
Out to kill the player.
Yeah.
Yes.
He made the Temple of Elemental Evil. I mean, come on now.
He also made the Tomb of Horrors.
Actually, Arneson drafted the rules that were used for Greyhawk.
Aha.
Okay.
Gygax started designing a campaign that he called Greyhawk, and he asked Arneson for a draft of his playing rules.
Nice. Okay. So, yes, we're expecting Razor to pop in at some point and start up the live stream, which we'll see when that happens. But for now, we're going to be trucking on. So, when we last left our heroes, they had managed to be basically escorted through a maze within the. So they arrived at the graveyard. The Gnoll spoke on their behalf to allow them in, and then they were led through the catacombs, a maze of narrow passageways with tiny alcoves that don't show up on the map, which were originally supposed to hold extra little bodies. Or, just piles of ash. All seeming to have been removed.
Or undead minions.
Okay, so, where was I?
Oh no, the rain is going
Crap.
native on us.
My brain just crashed.
And Nerd,
The ranger's gone native.
Nerd, during this meeting, I'm not going to do much. I'm going to see if I can sneak a short rest in, because you never know how long this negotiation's going to go. And
It's
the
true.
last one was interrupted, so...
Yep.
And the rogue very much intends to finish this one.
Alright.
Meanwhile, Chok is also going to do things during all of this. He's going to tinker with some bombs.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
lovely.
That was another thing you guys
This-
did. You guys met somebody who was pretending to be a gnoll via a spell. An illusion spell that made them look like a gnoll. And it turns out to be a tiefling, or a tiefling, depending on how you want to pronounce that.
Tiefling.
Tiefling.
With green eyes, which is Creed, who's kind of followed them along.
The unusually long neck.
So, back to the catacomb. And time for the shift in music.
It's so dark.
You'll be finding yourself near the bottom of the map.
Okay, there we go.
There's the Gnoll I used to know.
Hey, Biggin. Hey, Biggin.
Yes, so you guys have come face to face with Zeenog the Eater. A very large gnoll by gnoll standards, given that he's, roughly 15, 16 feet tall.
Huh.
So more than
just
twice the height of a normal
He's
gnoll.
kinda big.
Yeah.
he's a big boy.
He's bearing.
Honestly, for your negotiations, it's probably best if John isn't here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since if he started to make progress, he'd probably walk up and punch the guy.
Yeah.
Well, you guys might still end up fighting him anyways. The question is whether you guys end up fighting him here or in the arena, or if you guys don't end up fighting him. Because those are the three ways that I foresee things happening. But they're not necessarily the only ways that things can go.
If you remember, Bo just kind of walked up front and center before.
Yep.
I'm really tempted to destroy the arena thing, but no, because no friends.
Uh-huh.
Well, if we do end up fighting him, the best way to do it would be to challenge him in the arena. That way, as many gnolls as possible would survive to become to follow our guide.
Yeah, that's yes.
Yep.
Nerd has made me quite nervous about that arena.
Oh, and you guys also have with you Jonathan Blackstone. Who's
The homeless man. The homeless man.
the Dwarven Bard. And I've not gotten around to do all the other tokens because I've had a particularly busy week.
Does he have eyebrows now?
No, I haven't redone any of the tokens yet.
Oh.
Actually, I think I did
Homeless man with
redo...
no eyebrow.
I did actually redo Creed's token, but I haven't replaced it yet.
Don't you dare give me those big bushy eyebrows.
Yes,
No, it was the
yes,
normal
better.
eyebrows. It was the
I
normal
want
eyebrows.
caterpillars on his face.
I do. They
It
look
was-
marvelous.
It was those smaller normal eyebrows.
I want caterpillars on his face.
Oh, they looked so beautiful. They really brought out your eyes and your...
Shut up.
Anyways, so he does not need eyebrows that are the same size as his horns.
Yes, he does.
Wax
Yes,
your mouth will
he
get us
does.
just as hard.
All right. We've got enough sidetrack.
Yep.
So, you have approached Zeenog the Eater. And he spoke as if he was expecting you. Actually, I forgot to check as to exactly what the line was. So, actually, we'll be right back, and then we'll continue.
Either side, doesn't matter. But as I walk by Chok to walk up to him, I kind of elbow him in the ribs and give him a look of, don't do anything dumb.
Chok
Yeah.
gives you an innocent look like, I don't know what you mean.
And I very quietly mutter under my breath, put the explosives away.
Can't just
Chok's hand is under his robes, about to reach for it, slowly pulls back.
Oh.
Alright, by the way, beyond everything on this left side, you know that there's the rest of the complex on that side, and the rest of the gnolls. So we kind of already jumped back in because people started role-playing before I did the official we're back thing. So
Sorry.
You can always add it in.
Eh,
The Lynx walks up to Chok and goes,
I look down at the links.
so
"It's as big as you."
the last thing that
Phew.
Zeenog had said
Way
to you,
away.
because Bo had already walked up to him and started talking to him.
Yes.
He had said, you've finally arrived. Bo said, sounds like you were expecting us. At which point he said, you might say I was. And then, to try to get things back to the voice in question to give you the proper feel. Now, the question is, where do we go from here?
Bo raises an eyebrow. Well, I personally have never really heard of you except for, the stories of your conquest in the countryside. Would you care to talk rather than kill us savagely? Offering a disarming smile as he asks the question.
Diplomacy like no other.
Biting my lip. Biting my lip.
Roll a persuasion.
And my guy actually does
Alright.
that. He bites down on his lower lip.
Here's the laughter, reaches back for the explosives.
Hold on.
The cat. Yes,
Thankfully, I'm good at persuasion.
Oh shit! There we go.
Boom. I'm good at persuasion.
We can talk. At
Bo,
least
just-
for as long as I'm amused.
Bo grins. That's all I needed to hear. Thank you for giving us the chance to talk. First, he then points back towards the massive goat. We brought this for you.
Ah, tribute. A sound move. But I have definitely been
Oh,
expecting you since my troops failed to kill you in the fort.
Bo kind of shrugs. As I said, personally, I don't know what you would possibly want with me. I only recently met these folks, but I did have a hand in that, and I'm sorry for what I did to your servants, followers.
My troops.
Yes, your troops. I apologize for what I did to your troops.
Well, the big scaly has put a bounty on them.
And how much would this bounty be? Keep in mind, Bo knows. What was it again, by the way?
I'm not remembering. I think it was like 100 gold pieces each or something. No. It's like
It was thousands.
yeah, I think it was like 1,000 gold pieces each or something like that.
Alright. So Bo just kind of looks at him. And how much would that bounty be? Perhaps we can work out a better deal.
1,000 gold pieces per head.
How is your food supply?
As well as all close associates.
Well, I could hardly call myself a close associate, seeing as I've only met these people a couple days ago.
You still followed them here.
Yes, I did, but not to fight, to talk.
Roll another persuasion check.
I'm not at the keyboard at this very second. So if you could do that for me, that would be grand. My food finished cooking, so... How'd I do?
12.
12.
Oh. Oof. Okay.
I do
Well,
not think that you can
not so good.
buy your way out of this or trade. We have a decent supply of food. Especially given the trade route nearby.
But surely it's difficult to fight for that food all the time. How about all the
Difficult?
killing you could
The merchants
possibly
practically
want?
throw it at us in order to make sure that we don't murder them all and eat them. Which sometimes
how
my troops
about-
do.
Nerd.
How about all the killing you could possibly want, and a supply of food that you don't have to necessarily fight for, but is given to you as payment for your services?
And you're up at another persuasion check.
Okay, give me a moment, and I will be able to do that.
Leader or any of the gnolls know exactly that Sage was one of the people they tried to attack.
To be fair, Sage was attacked by the gnolls like early on, and then was saved by the party.
Yes. Does anyone
Aha!
would his scent be like standing out in the room?
16.
Your scent is unique to you, and your unique is very unique to you in this particular room because you're the only elf.
So
They know what they would call elf stench. They would probably recognize you, yes.
Sage is just silently standing there going, "Bolt," under his breath.
So I got a 16.
I am not after your food supplies or even steady pay. What I am after is land and freedom, both of which have been promised to me by the cat.
Bo raises an eyebrow. The cat? And who might this cat be, if you're at liberty to say?
I actually need to double check his sheet real quick for something.
See if he even knows.
Okay, so I was double checking to make sure that he would even stand a chance on a particular level to understand what the heck this thing was. Kind of would not be one of his special things, so I'm just going to do a... Okay.
Sage chimes up. Orange were-tiger.
Flipping through a book.
Persuasion is working so far.
Oh, and so you guys know, Arneson was officially acknowledged for his work in creating D&D. In '84, he was inducted into the Academy of Adventure Gaming Arts and Design's Hall of Fame.
Nice. Good. He deserves it.
Good for him. He deserves it.
And in '99, he was named by Pyramid Magazine as one of the Millennium's most influential persons.
Good.
Yes.
So anyway,
the orange cat man with black stripes and white under his chin.
Sage just pipes up from the corner. Unless they're speaking null.
No, this is all happening in common. And Bo, you were trying to say something?
I was just going to ask, do I have to make any checks to even have an idea of what the hell he's describing?
Pick a skill.
Sage about to say it.
Pick a skill and attempt a roll.
Well, let's try history. Well, let's see what I get from history first. Oh, nat 20. Nat 20.
You know all about the were-tiger people and how they colonized America.
All right.
Steps up and goes, is it a were-tiger that promised you land and freedom?
I don't know if he is
maybe I know something you don't.
I don't know if he is a were creature, but... So, Bo, at this point, this is when your little inspiration of history is going to kick in. And
I got 18 on nature.
Yeah, nature's not going to particularly help in this case, but that nat 20 is nat 20.
A nat 20 is a nat 20. It could have been medicine.
Yeah.
Could have been acrobatics. You could fucking
flip
around and know
there are two different things that it could definitely be. One of which is a lot more likely than the other. One of which is a were-tiger. However, they tend to not like these kinds of environments. Number one, which they could be spreading for whatever reason or be working for somebody. Okay, yes. However, moreover, a were-tiger tends to be a lot more direct about everything that they're doing.
Yeah.
Thinking about everything. This matches a whole lot more to all of the stories that you've heard of involving Rakshasa.
It's at this point, Bo's going to look over at Sage, and then back to the knoll. From the sound of it, this is not actually a were-tiger. It's a creature known as a Rakshasa. Were-tigers, frankly, don't like this kind of environments. They find themselves averse to it. And they're much more blunt.
His head is amused that somebody actually beat him at history. And so...
He's going to kind of chuckle. I feel like we have a Rakshasa in the works. He then looks at the knoll. I doubt you can... Okay, what do I know about Rakshasa, by the way? Okay.
History.
Because of that nat 20, I will give you some information for your previous check.
Okay.
One of which is that they're typically fairly devious,
So
and
yeah,
are the kinds who make plans within plans within plans.
Okay.
They do occasionally do things a little bit more overt. Okay. So they look like tiger people.
Mhm.
Their hands are backwards.
Okay.
Uh,
Meaning.
Meaning as you take the hand and you give it a full 180 on the place.
Oh, that's creepy.
And that is how it attaches to its wrist.
That's creepy.
And it sounds like we have a razor. Or we did? Or we do?
Mm.
No, we just lost somebody.
Yeah, I saw Razor in the Discord chat,
Alright.
and he's in the game now.
Yep. You also know that one of the things that the Rakshasa can do is look like a normal mortal being.
Mm. Okay.
Also, they are fiendish in nature.
So Bo's going to look at the Null. I doubt you can count on any promises that creature made you. They're liars. Almost guaranteed. Occasionally they'll do things a little more overtly, but usually they just lie. Whereas any promises we make, I will make sure are honored.
Whistles.
We can possibly get you land. Will you allow us to try?
Sorry,
Okay.
111. I'm having technical difficulties. These player icons and all these pictures of you guys are like in the way of my screen. I don't know how to get rid of them.
Okay,
Go
if
over
you
to
click,
the gear.
Yeah.
And you'll see under game settings, I put mine to names only, and it makes them a lot smaller.
Game
for
settings.
play, under game settings, there's player video / avatar
Awesome.
size.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's how you change it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Awesome.
So do I have to make another persuasion check with the possible offer of land?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, persuasion. Oh. Here's hoping.
Oh, and from now on, I'm going to assist with his persuasions. Just other things in the affirmative of what he says, or say that I'll see what I can do. Also, that type of thing.
I'm gonna try and sneak behind this dude's throne.
After the
Okay,
negotiation,
There
I'm going
are
to share-
gnolls that are sitting like on either side of him keeping watch.
Oh crap! You know what? No.
I mean, you all are also looking like a gnoll right now, so...
Yeah.
So here's hoping that
Sees
12
the
worked.
Yeah, oh, and by the way, there is a rather large statue behind him.
So you are hoping that this won't work?
I'm hoping the 12 does work.
So,
I'm gonna try and just like reposition myself.
I put a lot of effort into this negotiation so far. I don't want it to fall apart now.
Yep, I have things of my own I don't want to fall apart right now. If I'm doing this right.
You know what? No, never mind. Lucius is not going to be a fool. Never mind.
Negotiation is all about keeping them talking.
Yeah.
Temptations to fucking pickpocket the leader while he's not looking. Strong. Must overwhelm.
Don't
Yo,
do
you
it.
have no idea.
Must.
If I'm behaving myself, you need to behave yourself, damn it.
God damn it. I just want the leader to look down and suddenly realize that he's no longer wearing a loincloth or some shit like that.
No. You're gonna get us all killed, I swear to God.
Let's just see that.
So how did that 12 do, boss?
You there, nerd?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Alright, so.
Okay. Oh God, pray for me.
Be that as it
Whoa.
may, we are both creatures who have been
Yes!
stepped upon, outcasted, slaughtered for merely existing within an area. Always by people like you and your dwarven
Bo.
friends and the elf.
Bo holds up his hands real cool, very, calmly. I personally had nothing to do with what has happened to your kind, and frankly, my kind tend to avoid your kind. We don't like things larger than us. They scare us. Somewhat.
Sage will pipe up and say, "How about this? How about we get revenge for you? We hunt down this Raksha, or whatever it's called,
Rakshasa.
and in return, you stop attacking the hold. Reasonable."
Bo's going to, nod. That, and
Ooh.
on top of that, keep in mind, I'm also helping, so that's sort of advantage, right?
If you're attempting to assist him, then yes, that would grant advantage. However, I
Yeah,
also need
that's
to
why
hear how you're
Bo
planning
is
on
quickly
assisting.
Talking. Basically, he's going to say, on top of that, when I make a promise, I keep it, and I'm promising I will try and get you land and freedom. As sort of supporting that. We'll do that, and we'll try and get you your land and freedom.
Oh God.
So that's a 20 on the persuasion for Wolf, if it's advantage.
Oh God. Okay.
Does that count as advantage, boss man?
Yeah.
Boss man,
Alright.
dude, bro.
So that's
Oh,
a 20.
Fuck me.
Unnatural.
If Chok dies, this is my fault, but it'll all be worth it.
Don't do it!
Oh,
I said
good
don't do
God.
anything stupid!
Too late.
It's not really. It's not technically me, but sure.
Cat,
Well,
just
damn it.
if he does something stupid and we all die, at least we'll go out spectacularly, right?
True, but I'm blaming him.
here.
Yo, I
this
just
is
got
how
into
I'll
this
stop
campaign.
it.
If I die
really.
right
It is unlikely that all of you are going to die. It is unlikely
Just
that any
me.
of you are going to die.
My links
But
might
they're
step
about to
on
get
Chok,
furious,
trying to
aren't
snap
they?
him into sense.
It's not. Technically, I'm not trying to do anything to them. I'm just trying to do something by my lonesome, and it has a good chance of fucking.
There is
now.
an added side of this that is not normally taken into account by those things, which is the fact that they're supposed to have a slightly higher thing for that, which might be listed under the spell.
Somebody wants.
What the hell are you trying to do?
Don't worry about it.
Build a bomb.
I do worry about it. I put a lot of work into this.
No,
I'm
it's
trying
fine.
to get us Knoll friends.
Rolling the sense motive.
No, don't worry. It's fine.
Insight. I do worry.
I'm rolling insight.
It's gonna get us all killed. Not saying it's gonna be a TPK, but yeah.
I'm
Bring
rolling
46
insight.
saying-
and a blank
I'm
character
not.
sheet.
Jesus fuck. I'm not saying that Chok is becoming a suicide bomber, but that might be what I'm saying.
But bring 46 and a new character sheet.
No. How about this? I'm not saying Chok is going to become a suicide bomber, but it is within the realm of possibility.
Oh, actually,
So-
no, you're not using this. You just bought the weasel straight out, didn't you?
I didn't buy it. It just comes with a spell.
Oh, okay, so you did get it through the familiar one. Okay.
Oh, no, it's
So
the weasel.
they did not actually put that in here anymore.
Fuck, it's the weasel. He's going for pockets. Pardon my
No.
language.
All right.
Well, not yet, at least, no.
Listen, I rolled
Pardon my
22.
language.
I rolled 22 inside. I better get out of this. What is Bo up to?
You mean Chok, not Bo.
Bo is
My
staring
cat
at Chok.
is
You get that.
gonna try to attempt something. My cat's gonna try to pick.
As far as I know, nobody can see anything going on with Chok, but
Yeah, because no matter how good your roll is, if you can't see it, you can't see it.
That Noel's face
Yeah.
is really telling, though. You can tell that he really is Bo.
all right. So
He really what?
The cat's
And actually-
gonna try to pickpocket
okay.
the gnome. I don't know why,
Goblin.
but my cat's gonna try to pickpocket the goblin.
Is the cat a familiar?
It's an animal companion.
Sup, nerd?
Do animals bear the concept of theft?
all right. Okay, so you're gonna get yourself between those two knolls.
Yeah.
So
I look
how
like
does
a gnome,
that
so
20 on persuasion come out?
All right. Just give me a moment.
Got it.
Um,
Looks so freaky, I don't know why. Stop.
Apocalyptian, you see what I'm doing, right?
I do, and it looks freaky. Stop it. I don't know why it freaks me out as much, but it
He's
does.
dancing. It's a dancing tiefling.
Do we get advantage on our persuasion or
Somebody get the,
checks?
somebody get the fire hose and got spray him.
So wait, do I
Someone
just,
get the bear mace.
okay.
do I just
So,
Oh, okay.
getting back to things.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, if you can guarantee us land, then we might consider helping you and your peoples.
Hmm.
But the moment they turn on us, I will hunt you down personally
Bo
and
smiles,
eat your
and
flesh.
Bo smiles and touches the hilt of his rapier. If they turn on you, they'll
don't
answer
give a
to me
shit.
first.
But
When
the
I
cat,
give my word, I keep it.
the catch me first, bitch.
And he'll kind of lean back a little bit. It sounds like we might have an accord. And he'll stand up to his full height, stretching up his back. You're going to hear a series of cracking noises coming
I
from his
have
back
to
and his
go.
shoulders.
I have to go. I'm being
Oh, just-
kicked off.
What?
Bo's just gonna kind of wince. Oh,
See you, Wolf.
Later.
you don't stand much, do you? That sounded painful.
I have had very little reason for leaving recently. With the
Bo
only possible
nods.
exception being for your heads.
Bo just kind of nods and chuckles. Well, I'm glad it didn't come to that.
But if you can deliver what you've promised me before the Rakshasa can, or before this Catman can, then I will give you further information about the big red scaly.
Bo nods and offers a deep, flourishing bow. Then we shall return with news of our negotiation.
And I
For
say,
hearing about.
and I also say, and I have the king's ear. He needs the big scaly dealt with. If your information can assist in that, I am certain that it will assist in our negotiations with him.
Okay. I'll need one of you two to roll persuasion.
How about we both do?
Well, one of
If
we're
one
going to
of you
have
rolls
advantage.
If one of you rolls it, you'll have advantage. If you both
mine's
roll
a
it,
5. What's yours, Metcalf?
Persuasion 2.
Okay, I'm gonna roll the persuasion.
You've got a much better chance of succeeding.
16.
It's not a bad roll.
It's not. It's really not.
They could have been ones. They could have been ones.
They could have.
Oh, I'm so happy. This worked out so well.
It really did.
Mm-hmm.
Ah!
Wow,
He doesn't
Zeenog,
see Jack.
you suck.
And Adrian, the thing is, what I was saying wasn't a lie at all.
yeah,
Neither
I
was
know.
what I was saying.
I was trying to see if he would see it as being against his own interests
Aha.
to
We were both
do a
being
particular
completely
thing.
honest.
Because admittedly, we both have our own reasons for wanting this done.
So he's
Yeah,
going
I just
to.
don't feel like fighting.
So he's going to do something that's a little bit reckless.
Hmm.
I'll give you one bit of information for free.
Though kind of perks up. Okay. Thank you.
That looks so weird.
The Red Scaly hides himself as a king of one of the kingdoms nearby.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, thank you for that bit of information. That may be very useful.
We will be very mindful in our dealings.
So, Nerd, quick question. The mark that I have, is there any way, does it allow me to communicate with the king?
Yes. I believe that technically does allow you to communicate with... It allows you to communicate to the king, but not necessarily for him to communicate to you, I think. Or only when he specifically chooses.
Okay, so he could choose to communicate back if he likes what I say.
Potentially. Basically, it also... Okay. It would allow him to cast a spell where he could then communicate back to you, but it would require a whole separate casting of a spell.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to make sure there was a way where I could quickly get him the information and we could quickly relay back and forth what we need to know, not just say it and then wait weeks for a response.
Mind you, he might not notice initially when it happens, so...
Okay, so it may take some time for him to realize that he's been sent a message.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I had a muscle spasm. Give me a second.
So yeah. It's at this point Bo is going to offer a deep bow, thank him profusely,
Stop it.
and start heading towards the door.
I'm sorry, I just had the worst muscle spasm ever. Thank you.
Well, you need to quit bending in that certain direction during the night, and you'll be just perfectly fine.
Razor! We finally have a
Face
razor!
north, grab your
I've
ankle.
been secretly here for a while. It's just been quiet.
Face north, grab your ankles, and assume the position.
Saw it. I've been dealing with idiot clanmates and also had to eat dinner and a cat that won't leave me alone.
Ah.
It wants you.
Well, no, it's literally I play for it with 15 minutes, leave it alone, it comes back, and then claws me in the ass to play with her again. Even though she's the one who stopped, playing.
We've bought time.
So, Nerd, you like how that happened? That little thing that just happened?
What, you suddenly flying out of the room?
Yeah.
Eh?
It made him go, what the shit?
Yeah. So. Alright. Wolf kind of unfortunately had to disappear because he got booted from his computer for some reason, which is weird, but
Parents put him to bed.
yeah.
Yeah, it sounded
But
like
we will
family
trump on.
issues.
So. Alright. So you guys have struck a deal with Zeenog, who, one last thing before you go to finish our negotiations with the other side.
Bo stops and turns around. Yes.
Which one of you would like to bind our agreement?
Chok raises his hand, waves.
Bo's just gonna let him. I don't trust this.
So Zeenog is going to reach past the tiefling gnome and just pick up Chok by the back of his robe and bring him in front of him.
Falcon, punch! Because he's facing away.
I'm back here.
Opens his mouth, puts me in, swallows.
Yeah, if he has
Oh
that
my.
much, if he has that much range when moving, I'm moving over there.
Guess what? You'd still be within reach.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
There you go.
There you
Puny
go.
wizard, crunch.
This is my special corner. Don't mess with my special corner.
Alright.
That's his personal space. I'm coming to his personal space.
Meanwhile, I'm just looking at the coward in the corner and just shakes my head in shame.
And
So-
I'm the fucking goblin.
I think Bo may need to become Bo Silvertongue, man.
Alright, so you might notice on Zeenog's picture here that he has these like claw things coming off of his wrists.
Yeah.
He's going to take
Yeah.
one and like carve deep into his own hand, causing it to spurt blood, literally.
Blood bond.
With that same hand, he's going to grab Chok's arm and, or grab a hold of Chok's wrist and get ready to plunge his spiky claw into Chok's hand.
Bo's
Chok is
going to
going to
step
lift up
forward.
his hand and goes.
Wait.
Chok is going to lift up his hand and goes, friend, please, let me. And he's going to pull out his own dagger and do it out of courtesy.
Bo is going to offer his dagger. He's going to step forward and be like, hold on.
By the way,
wants to go with things.
okay, so go ahead and take a single point of damage as you cut yourself,
You were going to take way more if he got you.
because he would have straight up sent that claw through your hand.
Yeah.
Okay,
now Bo's going to back
Which-
off again.
I would have had it basically do just the die damage, which is a d12.
Jesus.
Ooh. Would have still
And-
hurt.
Let them finish their thing, then I'm going to do something.
Alright, so he's then going to go and mix the two bloods together on the hands, squeeze to where the blood is definitely flowing and is going to be dripping down below.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to grab a kind of dirty bowl next to him, put it underneath, getting some of the blood out into it, and then he's going to lick some of it out of the bowl. Then he's going to put it blood first towards Chok's face.
Oh, Chok is going to take that bowl and fucking chug it down.
Yeah, it's not a lot of blood,
Oh my
but it's some.
God.
Yo, I think Zeenog might have some sort of STD.
Chok is a goblin. He don't give a fuck.
By the way, roll me a Constitution save.
Yeah.
Oh, you better bet I'm going to fail this.
And if you really do fail this hardcore, then yeah, we'll see.
Give me AIDS.
No,
He's gonna be
Probably
riddled.
Ralph probably
Does he
puke
have
all over
disadvantage?
Zeenog and get us killed.
all right.
Does he have disadvantage?
No, he doesn't. And he succeeds on the save, just barely. He met the DC,
Oh, God.
which means he does not immediately throw it up and insult Zeenog's offer.
Okay. Good.
Yo, he's probably riddled with syphilis. Riffleous.
Probably.
I lick around my lips to catch as much as I can.
Oh my god.
Yeah, by the way, the reason why I had you roll that Constitution save is because the bowl is gross.
The bowl is gross, not the blood.
Yeah, the bowl
Is this a
specifically.
chamber pot?
Probably.
It's like full of grime and like
old
this-
blood.
well, not just blood, but also like the remains of month-old soup that dried out on its bottom.
Is the bowl made of guano?
If
No.
If he had rolled a nat
Stone.
20, what I would have recommended he do is go, I taste something familiar. Is this the chamber pot?
Should have licked the bowl clean on the nat 20.
So, yeah, it is like... It tastes pretty nasty. So...
I act like it's nothing.
Oh, by the way, to you viewers, if you don't know that reference, watch the movie Ace Ventura. I promise you'll love it.
Yeah. By the way, it probably did have guano in it, but the bowl itself is not made out of guano, because that'd be kind of hard to do.
Sculpted guano.
You're specifically thinking When Nature Calls, and it was hilarious.
It was the second
Alright.
one, right?
Yeah.
But no, apparently the king's just a really lazy fuck who leaves his bowls around.
Guano!
So... And before you leave, would you like to get a guided tour of our facilities?
Oh, well, yeah, sure.
You won't be allowed to
Oh,
take anything, but you'll be allowed to look.
And I'll just be like, look, don't touch. Story of my life. I'm fine with it. And then I'll look at him. Goodberry? And I'll hold out a Goodberry to him.
This is when I'm gonna speak to the... What's his name?
Zeenog the Eater.
Zeenog, may I have a word real quick, please?
Oh no.
Very well.
I step out of the way.
I'm
Bo's
just
just
gonna take
gonna
5 steps forward. I'm gonna be nice, don't worry, guys.
Okay.
I know this is a crypt of the dwarves. If I see anything that is dwarven relic, may I take it? Since this is your home. I thought I would ask permission first before I tried to. I didn't want to ruin what we have going here.
Bo kind of smiles and pats Orsic on the arm. Well said, friend. Well said.
The good relics that were here before have all been plundered long before our arrival.
If I see anything, may I take it? That's what I'm asking.
We
With
have a
your
room
permission, of
from
course.
which you can take anything that you can find.
Thank you. I thought I would ask
Bo.
first.
Bo holds up a hand. I'd like to see that room.
I give a glance at Bo. Just shut up.
I'm gonna whisper into the dwarf's ear and say, "When you die, can I have your stuff?"
Then the
Oh,
question is,
yeah.
which dwarf? Because there's 2 of us standing in the room.
Well, there's 3 dwarves in the room, actually.
The one that didn't ask if
yeah.
you could take the null stuff.
The homeless man does not
So-
count.
So you're going to lean down over to Orsic and ask if you can have his stuff when he dies, which...
And I think no one heard what I said, but I said that in his native tongue to show more respect, too.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Which
Like,
means that...
Because I was trying to say that. I think my microphone has been acting up lately, so...
Yeah, I think you cut out for a moment. So, by the way, that does mean that Creed would not have been able to understand what was being said.
Or anyone.
Nor would Bo.
I'm still gonna say it because I know he said something that the null didn't like.
No, the Knoll was perfectly fine with what he said.
Oh, okay.
Did the Null respond in Null or Common?
He responded in
I
Knoll.
I guess it's just your
Damn.
acting skills because whenever you speak in this guy's voice, he always sounds pissed.
Well, he's a carnivorous
Bo just-
beast. He's supposed to always sound hungry.
I get it.
Bo looks to Zeenog. I noticed your men had some explosives. I was wondering if you might be willing to trade some for something.
You will have to speak with our powder master.
Chok smile. fucking
Find him? And where might I find him?
The powder room.
Bo looks to one of the gnolls around. Would anyone care to show me the way, please?
And the one who was speaking common to you before will come around. That guy's gonna start moving this way.
Bo's gonna walk over. Ah, yes, friend.
I will show you it as we go around in the tour.
May I
Bo
follow?
nods. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I will show you as we go around
Everyone
the tour.
fucking follows.
Thank you, my good friend. I
Okay.
must say, this is a very pleasant experience with your people.
All right. So in order to to get us through this process quickly, the deals for the powder room will be done as probably kind of off screen after the session.
Okay.
I will allow you guys to make one investigation check each for the one room that potentially has plunder in it, which I haven't actually determined if it has any plunder in it or not.
Ah.
And in order to save time, I'm going to simply light up the entire place.
Okay.
Oh my.
It's a big place.
Yes, it is. It would have been very dangerous for us to invade.
Indeed. I'm very happy the negotiation went well. Oh my. That's a lot of knolls.
Oh god, and
wow.
up north, those are a lot of bones.
Yeah.
That is the room that you'll be allowed to plunder.
Ah. That is a lot of knolls. Wow. Holy crap.
We would have
This
gotten a
would've
lot of
been very
experience.
dangerous.
We would have gotten a lot of experience for winning, and for clearing this out. But
It
there
would've
would
hurt.
also be a lot of
At what
experience
cost?
if we can pull off the negotiations with the king.
Oh yeah.
If you guys manage to pull this off, you might not necessarily be rewarded in experience because you will be gaining other benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't be as much experience as if you had gone and cleared this out, but you also probably would have died clearing this out.
Yeah.
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 So what
That's
are
a
all
lot
those
of
like
knolls.
yellow things?
Those are all bedrolls.
Barricades. Oh.
Those are all
bedrolls.
bedrolls where the gnolls sleep.
Now they're dead SpongeBobs.
They are dead SpongeBobs. But no, this would have taken a lot of time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
We would have been at this for like a week.
just a week.
A weekend game.
I mean, a week of in-game time.
Yeah. So,
Like
yeah,
a month out.
they did actually set up some of their bedrolls on top of some of the sarcophagi that are in here, but as far as they're concerned, it's a raised surface that they can put a bed on.
Chok would ask about what this leads to.
I don't see where you're looking at. It was it the stairway?
Yeah, the stairway.
Okay, that leads down to the arena.
Oh,
Where we were most likely to end up.
can I
Except
see it?
persuasion like a boss.
I see a chest.
We're not allowed to touch that.
Oh no. I will say in Knoll to the mighty Knoll, may you lead me to this room, we can take whatever we want.
Yeah, which is that room up top with that currently has 2 gnolls in it, and all those bones and what looks to be like bloody squishy bits.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
That's their food room, isn't it?
Nope. That is their junk room, basically.
Oh.
Oh, I thought it would be their breeding room, considering how gnolls actually get about.
Well,
I'm also going to be, with my stone cunning, I'm going to be looking for any secret passages and stuff.
Well, you can kind of see the map as it is, so.
I'm gonna skulk.
Well,
and
the
try to
reason I'm
see.
saying that there might be a secret room behind the curtain there.
Behind the
This
curtain
gnoll
there
appears an artist stacking
is,
skulls.
yeah, behind the curtain is where that one bedroom is.
So there is no
pay
secret
no
rooms, you
attention
were
to
saying.
the man behind
Yeah.
the curtain.
Whatever
Yeah.
secret rooms there are have already been exposed.
Pretty much,
They've
yeah.
been long since opened up.
What I'm showing you is literally the entire thing of this
Okay.
level.
Hmm.
I have no extra secret rooms in here.
Well, I'll head to that room that Noel was talking about, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna be on our tour.
Yep.
Yeah. So that top room with the 2 gnolls And those buckets, which, by the way, each of those weird bucket-looking things is a chamber pot.
Oh.
Aha, that's a chamber pot.
Yes, Chok goes... No.
Which, by the way, are in
Gonna
fact
look
buckets.
at that next.
Yeah, they literally have buckets that they do their business in.
Yes.
Lovely.
Time for that
So-
contest we all want.
What would happen if I were to use my cleaning rod on one of those on one of those chamber pots?
Well, considering the fact that the
Shiny
rod was originally
bucket.
designed in order to be able to clean water of all sewage,
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna clean all the chamber pots to see if there's anything in them.
basically you'll
Oh
turn
my God.
all of that dirty ick into clean water.
Also, I'd like to say that with prestidigitation, I can clean anything up to 1 cubic foot, so those fucking chamber pots could all be emptied in a second.
Yeah, which is basically what his rod does, only his rod can only do the cleaning function.
Oh my.
Ah.
Together, we will play Janitor Simulator and this place.
Oh,
Cleaning
and Sage
the
also
place.
has one, by the way.
Why are you cleaning the place?
We have to... Look, we're guests, we have to be kind. That is the
and
way.
I'm looking for loot.
Okay, so
Yes.
south of the
In the buckets.
bone room where you guys are going to be able to do all your looting, here is their kitchen space. I forgot to put some of the stuff in here, but this is supposed to be their pantry.
Okay.
This is the bathroom for the kitchen and eating stuff. Like, you go and you eat in here, and then you go and poop in here.
I'm going to impress them because is that before we reach that room?
They're probably going to take you directly up there first.
Okay.
Which reminds me, I need to snag. Doo-doo, doo-doo.
Chok looks longingly at the arena. Want to visit it someday. We should take pictures when we're done.
Poe just kind of shakes his head.
You guys are basically in the same positions that you were in down there. Okay.
That
Okay.
I help.
I see where we're at.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go into the room and between the two of us, we're going to clean all the chamber pots that are in there.
Oh yes.
And while they're
Plunge,
cleaning, I'm
plunge.
gonna search stuff.
All right.
See
So
what I got.
10.
Let's see here.
I'll go ahead and roll one for Sage.
Ooh, we got a 22.
Oh, Sage is even proficient in investigation.
Oh, I found a penny in this
my
one.
investigation has been
All right. So we have Bose, Pock, Met, Sage, which I forgot to switch that over. Razor,
Whoa! Where did we go?
North.
All the way out northward in the body room.
roll
You
investigation.
guys now have
sir.
a fully exposed map, so
All right, because I'm not there anymore. I'm not where. Okay, where am I?
Yeah, you're up
roll
north.
investigation.
Directly north.
Roll
Just-
investigation.
You want a 12 or do you want a 12?
Lucius.
Oh, there I am.
Roll investigation, sir.
Roll investigation. Okay, I am proficient in investigations. Oh man.
We're
Oh,
getting.
you better
loot.
believe that he is that thing he said.
Well, you know what? Never
Ah.
mind.
Didn't. I only got a 10, dude.
I
Chok
got
is
up.
just overexcited and just cleaning these chamber pots, looking around, happy to be alive and with these
Oh
gnolls.
my god.
okay.
He also just got lunch, so he's fine.
Actually, no. Chok did got a 22 on in his investigation. Holy.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
jealous. I'm jealous.
I'm gonna do it by 5% chances, so I might as well do a 1d20 roll. There's apparently loot. There's apparently quite a bit of loot that got missed or just got tossed out with the bodies before.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Okay.
Oh shit.
So I need to use that chart. Okay, so 20.
Her to her.
Okay. Apparently, I have quite a bit of rolling to do.
To figure out what there is for us to find.
Do we want to do that off screen after?
Maybe a little bit, but at the moment, I'm just going for it.
Alright.
Times 100, so... Okay. If it hadn't been for that being a nat 20, though...
On the
It would have been a lot
persuasion,
less.
on the knowledge?
Yeah, if it hadn't been a nat 20, I would have given you guys, like, just a tiny bit of money.
Oh, you rolled a nat 20. Oh my.
God, you guys look into the room. It was just a complete mess. You look back once Chok leaves. It's sparkling.
Yeah.
The floors have been waxed, and everything's been replaced with perfectly etched marble.
Okay.
Oh.
It becomes a proper bathroom. There's a shower in the corner.
Okay, so now
The
that
Knolls will
person's
never
over
use
here.
it.
Somehow he managed to renovate the place while he was searching it.
The Knolls will never use any of the renovations. They just poop in buckets.
Oh my god, I do actually have the tools needed for renovation. I have hammers, I have
Oh my
crowbars,
god.
nails.
Do you have nails? Really?
Wow.
I think I do, yes.
Huh.
For,
Okay.
And an abacus
for
for the
making
maths.
nail bombs.
Let's not do that in this peaceful scenario.
Okay, so
No,
which
no,
way
not
was
this time. We
50.
made Knoll friends, dude. We
Yep.
we largely succeeded in Knoll
Okay.
friends.
D12, and I need to
I'm never
do
going to use these iron
3 of
spikes,
them.
am I?
Those are nails.
Giant,
Kind of.
very, very large nails, yes.
Yes.
I
So
have
let's see.
3 manacles.
You guys accomplished kobold or goblin or something like spider worshippers. Kobolds, I think.
Although you're likely to get a yes next time you ask.
Okay, and I need to
I got you,
do
still don't.
3 of those.
I said next time. Okay, I know what's going on.
So
Okay.
is this any good loot, or is this a bunch of rubbish?
Oh, there's going to be apparently a rather large amount of loot somehow.
They just kind of grabbed what they saw and didn't think to check for pockets.
Apparently.
They don't
I
go
go-
for pockets.
I go in looking really skinny. You see
By
me
the
come
way,
out.
it's-
I'm now 7
it's
feet
basically-
tall and very large.
It's basically impossible for you to sneak all this loot, so I'm just going to make it all public.
And they're just kind of letting
Nonsense.
us take whatever we want.
I'm telling you, it's basically impossible for you to sneak all this loot because of the...
Nah, I'm sure my trench coat can just
Not to
inflate.
mention,
I'm only
both
going to lay
Metgath
claim to
and-
like one thing.
both Metgath and Sage would have seen the loot as well.
Because of our decent rolls.
Yep.
My 10 didn't see nothing, did it?
It probably would have seen at least a couple of the items. I don't know if you'd be able to properly identify them at the time, but
Do
Okay.
remember, I do have my magic bag on me that's pretty much empty, plus we have that magic chest.
yep.
Yeah, so between us we can probably take everything, but
Okay, so...
Chok himself wouldn't have been able to slip it all out.
I like how you all assume that I want this stuff. We don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Chok is known to have the weird ins and odds, so...
For shiny objects and valuables.
I mostly look for gems and stuff and scraps of gold, so I can make jewelry to sell for bigger profit later.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I'm giving you guys way more loot than I probably should, but oh well.
We negotiated hard.
You guys did negotiate hard, and I rolled for random possible loot, and yeah.
It was
Not
The best
20.
possible.
By the way,
We
folks,
hit the
this is why you
jackpot.
generally roll a percentile dice to decide whether or not there's a bunch of loot there.
Didn't you do that? Though?
Incidentally,
I rolled a d20 instead.
if there's like a rapier or a short sword, that's all I want.
We will see after I am done
Specifically a
typing everything
rapier.
up. Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's...
Specifically a rapier. Or something that gives me see magic. Detect magic. That'd be cool.
Okay. So next I need to deal with those, which means that there's 2 over there. That is...
This is more largely a statement to the rest of the group. If there's something that's detect magic or a rapier, that's all I want.
Shark just starts munching on some pickled meat.
Getting that blood taste out of your mouth and gross bowl.
Gotta wash it out with that pickle, you know?
Sardonyx? Okay, so that deals with those, which means I'm now down to the final bit, which means I have to go to a completely different chart. Yeah, I'm having to go through 3 charts, folks.
Yay, GM torture!
Why 3
Okay.
charts?
What have I done?
For
The
loot
sheer
tables.
volume of loot.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to take this loot, guys.
I mean, there's generally
think I
enough
want
stuff
this
on
loot.
one chart that we could just do one chart.
What the heck
I
is
mean,
that thing?
yeah, but if you look in the corner, that's a large pile of bodies. I think that might have something to do with the how much loot there might be.
The mother load, yeah.
Is that a mermaid underneath?
I'm not sure. So this is where they put all the like bones and such after they've eaten someone or something.
Well, it could
Pretty
all,
much, yeah.
again, I said it earlier, but gnolls do breed using corpses, so this might
I don't know
be the
anything
breeding
about that. I don't want to know anything about that. I'm
There's a reason
good.
they're mostly warlike, man.
So there are
I
no
don't-
female nulls?
There are.
There are female gnolls.
There are.
Are there?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, if you
'Cause-
want to get kinky with a null, find a female. Then you get the furry on.
Because how it works is
What?
gnolls kill someone, take the corpse, and then they use some weird essence to try and infect the corpse, so then a hyena will eat it and then turn into a gnoll.
Whoa.
So
I have
it's
no
not
idea
as
what you're
disgusting.
talking
That's
about.
not as disgusting as own. As
No, it's not necrophilia. That's not the
It
answer.
did not go where I thought it was gonna go.
That is not.
And
no.
I'm very
Come
happy
on,
it didn't
guys.
go there. I'm very happy it
Hey,
didn't
Mac.
go there.
This is D&D. No.
Oh,
There's,
trust me.
there is a
I had a
book.
character to screw a dragon, so
There is a
This-
book.
This is not. This isn't Call for
No.
Cthulhu. No.
Are you? You don't know about? I don't remember what the hell the book is called, but it's actually basically a book of sex rules for D&D.
You mean the erotic
Exactly.
fantasy or Quintessential Temptress?
Both of them, really. Yeah.
What
And there's like
hell?
the book for sex magic in D&D. That also exists.
I want this
It
now.
gets weird. It gets weird, dude. There are rules for
spells.
enhancing yourself.
Oh. Oh no.
I'm not kidding. There are rules for using magic to enhance yourself.
Enlarged
not able-
They
person.
exist.
That's sad. For some reason, I'm not able to turn my character around anymore.
No, it probably wouldn't be enlarged person. It'd probably be enlarged
Alright.
part.
Oh.
Or enlarged
God.
The loot has been posted.
All right, let me see what this nonsense is.
I'll take the chimes.
I'll take my fair share of the money. That's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
And the sardonyx, because I think it's a pretty stone.
I want to try to identify the two liquids.
What is my fair share of that huge amount of money? I don't even know.
I find it funny how Owen just, or whatever his damn character's name is, just going in and like, oh, I'll just take all this and walk away. It's like, wait, what about the rest of us?
Okay.
So it
he said what he wanted.
Don't even get me started, dude.
He was just saying what he wanted.
It'd be 1 Arcana check per.
I just want the pretty stones.
I just want one of the stones.
I just wanted the chimes, just shiny.
Okay.
Well, I can take the stones and turn them into jewelry and make a bigger profit.
I want to be shiny.
I want one of them.
Okay, I'm going to basically assign your Arcana checks because you're supposed to say data as to which one is going to be which. So I'm going to just use it in the order that I have it typed in under my notes here. So
That's pretty much what I was thinking anyway.
Yeah. Or maybe I should do it. No, I should do it by the list in the chat box there. So that means you have figured out what the fiery red liquid is, or the fiery red syrup.
The other one, not a clue.
Yeah. The swirly milk white liquid? No clue.
So what's the other one?
It is an elixir of health.
Okay.
Which somewhat, kind of, surprisingly does not actually heal any hit points.
Uh-huh.
It gives you temporary hit points.
When you drink this potion, it cures any disease affecting you, and it removes the blinded, deafened, paralyzed, and poisoned conditions.
Ah, so that would have been for earlier.
Now, apparently it's supposed to have tiny bubbles in it. There are tiny bubbles of light in it.
So I'm going to say what that is and what it does. I don't really need it because I don't have to worry about the disease part of it.
Yeah, I mean, it basically
Blind
removes
and
all
deafened,
conditions on you. Except for, like, curses.
That's something where it sounds like that might be good for a tank to have. But other than the money, there really isn't much in there that I'm interested in.
Okay, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you.
I'm going to try and identify the chimes. Somewhat. That's not great.
Okay. So, 14 isn't great. I'm going to have a look at it to see what its rarity level is. Because normally these DCs are based around what the required caster level to make it is. Actually forgot to put in my note. Okay. So that's that, which means I'm fairly certain that means that your check doesn't make it. But I'm going to double check for good measure because I am a good DM. I swear I am. If I say it enough, it'll come true, right? I try to be a good DM.
You're good.
Okay.
Sorry, I was spaced out for a second.
Alright. So, you don't know what they are.
And nerds, I've done the math to figure out what dividing by 3 gets and dividing by 6 gets for all of those. Should I just post it in chat?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Bo, one of us. One of us.
Not doing that.
One of us.
Alright. Is that an even share of the money, Mech
Yeah,
guy?
that's what he posted,
Okay.
Yeah,
And that is what I'm adding to my thing.
and it's
So-
0.33, so 2 of us will get 1 additional silver piece.
I
We'll
don't
get
need
284 instead of 283.
it. I don't need it.
A silver's a silver. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I'll take an extra silver.
All right, go ahead and put it into or add it to your money on your sheet.
Oh yeah, I got calculations to do. Yeah, god damn it.
What's 283 plus 35? 318?
Yeah.
Okay. Shelby, go. Get dog.
There we go.
And 20 gold?
Okay. So,
Jesus, I just feel my one side go timber.
There we
yeah.
go.
Like my brain went timber, which is why I'm drinking more coffee. Coffee.
I haven't had coffee in 2 days.
Damn, I'm actually fairly wealthy now. 73 gold, 318 silver, 354 copper.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
Hey, keep in mind, I started with basically nothing.
Yeah.
I started off with 5 gold.
I started off with
started-
absolutely no money.
I started off with a really awesome weapon.
Yeah, Orsic decided to start off with the debts, that way he could potentially get more money later on. So he put in an upfront debt investment in order to get profits later, because he's a merchant. That's part of what merchants do.
Yeah.
You get a business
All right.
loan, you pay off the loan.
So that is the loot.
Also, nerd, on a side note, I need to talk to you later. Now, I finally remembered what I wanted to ask you when we were starting this character.
All right?
Oh, by the way, did my attempt work?
Later.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So, Razor, what was the question?
No, we'll wait until later. It's something we have to talk about.
All right. Okay.
That's why I said later.
Okay, so, go ahead, Bo, go ahead and mark that into your list of stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so does anyone want that carnelian?
If it's a gemstone, I'll take it.
Oh, sorry, there's 2 carnelians.
Like I said, if it's a gemstone, I'll take it.
Going once, going twice.
I mean, what are they?
You can have it.
What's a
They're
carnelian?
gemstones.
I'll
Yeah,
take
I don't want it.
carnelian.
Okay, so you add 1 carnelian, Orsic will add 1 carnelian. Should be able to copy paste it from the chat.
Are they both of the same quality?
Approximately, yeah.
Okay.
And as I
You know
recall,
what?
carnelian is a redstone.
Yeah. Well, you know why I take
Yeah.
them? It's because I'm gonna, while we're sitting around the fire, I can make jewelry.
Gather up the campfires. Give her a song.
The frack.
Okay. So, out of curiosity, who's
Yeah,
planning on taking that?
carnelian's a red.
Okay, so who's planning on actually taking the silver chimes?
I did.
Okay, so you're taking those,
Yeah.
and then who's going to be getting the swirly milk colored liquid?
And
I'll-
is anyone else even going to attempt to figure out what the heck they are?
I'll take
Sure.
it and give it a shot.
I'll look over your shoulder, and that's even worse.
Why not? I'll throw my wrench in the.
We have no clue what this is.
This sure is white.
Hey, he
Wow.
might know. He might know.
Yeah,
Yes,
Razor actually got
baby.
it. So,
Holy crap!
Razor,
Someone
I actually
knew.
have a lore explanation as to why you might know this too.
Oh shit!
What is it?
And apparently so does the tiefling also knows. So,
Oh wow!
I'm
The
going
rest
to
of
be
us is just
pulling...
knuckleheads.
Well, it's
And
something you might not have come across before, so...
The thing is,
Trying
I
to
have the
stare
lowest
blankly at
intelligence
it.
in the group. And I got it.
We're all just kind of staring blankly at the monk looks over. Oh, I know what that is.
All right. So
Lucius, victory dance.
That was pretty funny.
So okay, yeah. I got the the difficulty on that right. So, that by the way, Orsic, you grew up in the hills and all, but people did do some deals with Goliaths every once in a while because they like strong alcohols. They kind of need strong alcohols in order to be able to get drunk. And they came by every once in a while, and sometimes they'd bring in various things that they had. And that right there is a potion of Frost Giant Strength.
What am I?
Ooh.
I'll take that.
Yeah, it changes your strength score to a different set one for 1 hour.
Do we have a tank in the group?
Yes.
When he's strength based, right?
I don't think we have a strength-based tank in the group.
Homeless man,
We
go.
don't.
We don't have any. I don't believe we actually have any strength-based characters in the group. However,
Lucius is friends with Goliaths. I just remember that.
yeah.
However, what?
I believe your character and theoretically any of the melee characters could use this and then use their strength stat instead of their dexterity stat for whatever damaging thing that they want to do.
Yeah. But what about my character?
You could theoretically, if you were to use it yourself, then you could then use your strength for your fist attacks instead of your dexterity.
Imagine Chok. He's the wizard guy, right? Or sorcerer?
He's a wizard.
Okay, never mind. So one of the rogues. Imagine one of the rogues using that and then using sneak attack.
It would be hilarious.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say give Chok the potion and set him in the arena against fucking.
I think Zeenog's strength might be higher than what it grants.
What?
So,
how much is it grant?
Yeah.
How much is it grant?
Okay, so it turns your strength into a 23 for 1 hour.
And me being the monk, that'd probably be the most beneficial because I also get the benefits of being close combat with no fists.
Well,
but with
moreover,
sneak attack, that could be insane.
Yeah, with sneak attack, that could equal insane damage. The one advantage that the monk has in particular is that he gets flurry of blows.
Oh, that's right. Oh, so
which means he gets the one extra attack each round.
Yeah.
Not each round, but each round that he spends a key point. However, it can theoretically be useful to any of the melee people.
So anyone want this?
I kind of tentatively do, because I would use it. But, I mean, I'd be sitting on it for a while until the right moment.
That was the same here.
Yeah.
So
I can just imagine that like one ultimate sneak attack, dude.
The next issue is so there's that, but then there's also who's going to take the other potion, the red one that negates all status ailments. I don't think
that one.
Yeah,
I don't think
your
both
status
potions.
ailments.
Yeah, I don't think both potions should go to the same person.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I think everyone here got some loot, so why not give it to the one person who's not here yet, like Wolf?
There is that.
I kind of
we
want
could give
that
it-
hill giant, but I'd
We
be
could-
willing to let it go.
And I haven't gotten any loot either, but that was voluntarily. So we
Ah.
could give that to Wolf for now, and then when he comes back, he can decide if he wants to pass it on to someone else.
Yeah.
Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
Okay, Kyle, we understand you're a little bored. Calm down.
Because that
Okay.
one ultimate sneak attack could be amazing.
Falcon sneak attack?
And then I also need to
Basically.
still add monies. Adding in the
Actually-
money.
The beauty of how I play my rogue, I could do it multiple times.
Especially if I transform into a bear, so you can hide behind me.
So be
Exactly.
292.
Sneak attack, run back behind the bear, run out from the other side, sneak attack, run back behind the bear.
Exactly. Charge in, attack, dash behind
give me
you. Next turn, hide.
Option 1, and then
I need to get enlarged
Actually,
to
wait.
make that thing even
I
better.
can use. I think I can
Well-
use my cunning action to hide.
Well, here's the thing. Remember, I have an enlarge already.
Yeah.
It's
You're
not a
already
spell.
big enough for me to hide behind. Actually, you
But-
already are.
I have
Yeah.
an enlarge already, so I could transform into a bear, enlarge, and then it would give you an even bigger thing to hide behind.
That would probably
because
give me straight up advantage at that point, right, nerd?
Because it would.
Yeah.
This would be the type of thing where we'd be pulling all stops.
yeah.
Yeah, and then I'd hide behind you, drink the potion, then come running out.
Yeah, admittedly, if you did that, if you did the, okay, I'm turning into a bear with the potion in my mouth, keeping it in my mouth as I transform into a bear, and then chug it down as a bear, Chok could literally still stay in stealth, grab onto your butt as you move around a bit, and then just jump from behind you and, like, jump stab things.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
keister me and I could be your magic fucking battery.
I
And
think in this
Or
case
sorry,
he meant
Chok or
Bo.
Bo or whoever. Or, yeah.
And just
I
grab
think
on and hold on, like, okay, Monster Hunter this.
Nerd, I think I'm going to pull something that I did with Ugg in Kel's game. Is I'm going to have I'm going to get a little pouch design that I can put that enlarge potion in, so that way when I'm getting ready to do it, I just put the pouch in my mouth, and then when I transform, I simply bite down on the pouch.
That'll be kind of a
Yeah.
not very effective way of doing it. And these potions aren't exactly tiny. These aren't like little tiny vials. These are like...
Okay, so it'd be something where I pop the cork, put the end of it into my mouth, then transform.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I finish transforming, flip my head back.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you get
Okay.
bigger, and Bo just grabs on you, is like hanging on, then just straight Monster Hunters it, where he bolts over you, spinning and stabbing.
Yeah,
So
and then Chok casts a
this-
charm person on himself so that he likes himself. That's
This,
Oh.
this little dwarf suddenly transforms. He gets bigger and bigger, starts growing fur, becomes a bear, starts roaring it, flips his head back. When his head comes down, he starts roaring and starts growing again.
Spits out an empty bottle.
an enlarged cyanide capsule. Proud of you, sir.
I just love the idea of Bo going all Monster
moving.
Hunter on it.
I clicked the wrong thing.
That's hilarious.
And I'm going to offer as an act of good faith to clean their chamber pots.
Ew.
I'm already doing that.
Well, no, the other ones.
Give me a moment.
These,
Okay.
these are just the ones in the room.
No, Chok
So-
is doing a thorough checkup. Like
Yeah,
you as well.
yeah, we've spent a lot of time on this. We've spent like the past half hour or more on this.
Yes, we have.
So there's one last place to go check out.
Yes.
This is the arena level.
It's cool.
Oh, baby. Chok.
This is definitely A level.
Yeah, so you see the staircase down. There's an armory to one side, set of beds on the other, and then there's the arena itself.
I'm scared.
Hold me.
Hold me. Hold me, Chok.
However,
Who ended up taking it?
Yes.
We'll do
What was that, nerd?
Oh.
I said, however. So, after all of this, you guys will be heading back to the fort.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I actually forgot to prepare one of my things. Oops. Okay. Time to change up the music once more. Do. No, that's not right. Is this the slower one? faster.
I'm jamming out.
That's a big town.
Well, that's a stock image that I found that isn't actually accurate to what the fort looks like.
I'm dancing.
Okay.
This one is actually more accurate.
Chok has a stereo on his shoulder that he's carrying with him.
Aha, this one, yes.
Alright, so you guys will be making the I believe it would turn out to be like a 3-hour journey in total on back to town. So you guys have been spending about 6 hours out. You guys left at around dawn, which was around 6 a.m., which puts it about noon for your arrival back. As you arrive, or as you start to come back in, you'll notice that there's far less noise than you would normally expect. I mean, yes, the area's been kind of dark and gloomy, but, it's...
Go inside and look.
Yeah. The, gates are, of course, closed when you first arrived, with, dwarves up on the parapets. Or, not parapets, causeway? Area behind the wall. There's also a couple up in the parapet area as well, above the gate.
Bo's going to wave and smile as he walks up, and flipping each guard a silver piece. See you at the card game tonight, boys?
They're currently about, like, 20, 30 feet up.
Oh, well. The one's closer to the ground. Yeah, he's flipping coins up for them to catch.
4, 8...
Oh, this is the arena.
Like a noble throwing pennies at peasants, you lob the coins up in the tower.
In this case, it's specifically he's offering them part of their stake in the card game tonight.
Handfuls of coins.
So they're pretty high up.
He's doing his best as best he can, like get him within reach.
Catapult spell the coins up.
They see you guys coming in, and they'll say something to each other real quick, and the gates will start to open slowly.
I'm gonna see if I can listen to hear what they say. I know there's not much of a chance, but
perception check.
Yep.
I'm also going to.
Am I still in null form? Do I still look like a null?
Oh my!
Oh, shit, that's a problem.
I think your spell's worn off by now.
Oh,
because it was like 3 hours back.
20?
That is a nat 20 perception. My perception rolls, man.
Did you see that plump one? That one is rotund.
So, what are the downsides what are the downsides of me just ignoring that and just playing it off like nothing happened?
Okay, what was that question? I didn't quite hear you.
What is the downside of me just playing off looking like a tiefling again and just acting like it never happened?
Well, most of the party already figured it out because they made their wisdom checks earlier.
Yeah.
The gnolls were apparently the only ones who were really failing.
Yeah, they were quite
They were just really bad.
Remember that gnoll that thought I was hitting on him?
Yeah.
He still misses you to this very day.
Shut up.
She, but yeah.
It.
Oh.
So, Bo, you'll actually be able to hear him. And he's there. Oh, it looks like these adventurers are back, and they seem to have picked up another one. Better open up the gate and get him in.
Bo smiles. Greetings to you as well, friends. I'll see you at the card game tonight, yes?
Yeah, we'll be off work by then.
Shall we go for whiskeys and cigars tonight?
He just grins, heading into the fort and making his way to the sergeant's office.
The fort is substantially less crowded than it was before. Many of the wagons and carts seem to not be there anymore, and many of the kind of booth things that were set up are gone, as well as some of the kind of scrabble together buildings made of various bits of rubbish that nailed together.
I was gonna stop and look for a guard or someone to ask what happened.
And I'm gonna have a question. When we were talking with Zeenog, did he agree to assist in the defense with the defense in the south, or to stop causing problems?
I believe the agreement was he assists in keeping things under control in this area and not harassing the locals.
Okay.
And he's given land and freedom to act as he will in his land.
Yeah. And he's given actual proper territory, preferably outside of the graveyard, but, he didn't actually specify that part.
He didn't. We could just give him the graveyard.
Well, if we were to give him territory outside the graveyard, we could get him out of the graveyard.
Indeed, we could.
Which would put him in a less defensible position should he start causing problems.
Very much. So yeah, I'm gonna stop and ask someone if I can spot anyone nearby. What's going on? Where'd everyone go?
Which, there's a few guards nearby, and... one of the merchants kind of started rallying people, and they're all going to try to make a bolt northward. As far as they can get.
Hard times, friend.
The place was getting too crowded, and with that knoll attack, people were too afraid to stay. They'd rather chance it out on the road in broad daylight.
Well, soon the knolls may not be a problem. Would the sergeant be in his office?
Needing to remember the name.
Stafford.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes, Stafford should be in there.
So he wanted land for himself and to not be attacked by the local dwarves anymore, correct?
Yes.
He wanted freedom and to not be hunted anymore, etc., etc.
Okay.
Yes. Because
land so he can have
killed
freedom. Land so he can have freedom and not peace of mind that they will no longer be hunted.
It's a pretty fair request, actually.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I see no problem with it.
By the way, you mentioned this, the guard mentioned this next to Chok, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chok is panicking.
Bo reaches over and grabs Chok's arm. Calm, friend. Let's go talk to the sergeant.
But broad daylight, up north. My connections. Clientele gone.
Fine. They'll be fine. We'll bring them back. It's at this point Bo slaps Chok. Snap out of it, man.
And then I'll say, or we could also go somewhere that has more people.
But they had whistles on them. Those cost money.
You'll always be able to find more customers, little one.
It's at this point Bo performs what is called a Gibbs slap. Smacks him upside the head. Come on.
I needed that.
Yes, you did. Now come on.
Chok comes along, slightly shaken.
Oh, and one last thing.
Hmm?
You with the furs there.
Who?
Yes.
What?
I hide any contraband. Oh, okay.
I'm the only one wearing furs, so...
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
Yes,
right.
yes.
What is your name
yes.
again?
Denault.
Donald Cordum, right?
Yes.
Hey, Vistra said to let you know that she's doing well. And looks forward to seeing you in the south.
Wait, isn't
Bo looks
Vistra
over
my
at Denault.
assistant?
Your assistant might also be named Vistra. It's a common dwarven name.
Bo looks over at Denal.
Who does my guy know who's named Vistra?
Okay. Oh, they both have the same name, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'll look over at you and I'll say, "Don't." Seeing the expression on your face, like, "Don't worry, it's not your Vistra. She would have still left the message for you."
Yeah. So this Vistra was one of the people that you went out on that first expedition with that you kind of got split up from.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a cleric.
I say, "Oh, so Vistra's still alive. Awesome! I can't wait to meet up with her."
Bo just raises an eyebrow.
I'll look over at him and say, I long story. She's an old traveling acquaintance.
You'll have to tell me someday. An old flame?
No, No, unfortunately not.
Ah, 'tis better to have loved than lost.
Is it?
So I might have to go ahead and change the last name of the one in here, just to make things easier on myself.
And off to the sergeant's office.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you want to change Vistra's name, that's not a problem for me.
Yeah, I can just change her last name.
Yeah. Oh, do they both have exactly the same name?
Yep.
Oh my! Well then.
You know what I could have done back there?
Hey, I'm gonna have to cut it short. People keep poking and won't leave me alone, so I gotta go take care of it.
Okay.
What I could have done is we could have just left off into the forest and acted when we went back to town, and then I could have brought back those fake guard passes I made. Which I do have 4 of, and I am pretty sure I could do with at least giving away.
So what I'm doing, the reason why I've been fairly quiet is I'm typing up what I'm going to message the king. Which so far it's all pretty straightforward.
If you care to include Bo on this, he might have some input.
Yeah. And I'll talk to him as well, but let's see.
Then his input is, remember what Zeenog said. The big red scalies disguises himself as a king.
Yeah, that's part of...
Yeah, there's kings everywhere, though.
But
however, specifically, it's in one of the neighboring nations, is what he said, correct, nerd?
A nearby nation.
A nearby nation.
Bo don't know where your guy's from.
However, that will limit the number of possible places that the dragon is. It lets him know that he's a leader of one of the nearby nations, and he could begin investigating that as well.
Okay. Yeah, his input would simply be careful. You know?
And then at the bottom, there's Chok's signature, which is just his bloody handprint.
And also all the information he has on Rakshasa. He's sharing that with the entire group, by the way.
Actually, there wouldn't be a bloody handprint on it, because this isn't a written message. It's something that I'm sending to the king mentally.
Yeah, so I'm sending him a mental handprint. It's like Call of Duty when the screen goes red.
When you send it, Bo is going to have something written up on Rakshasa for you. He's going to take care of that after meeting with Stafford.
Okay.
Because that's information you all need.
Right.
Yeah, I'll wait until after the meeting with him to send it.
Yeah.
Just so I can make sure I have all the words right.
Yeah, and I mean, that seems like important information that there's a Rakshasa involved.
So, I've now fixed it. In both sets of list.
I love that Nat 20 history.
Yeah, if it hadn't been for that Nat 20, you guys would have had no
Jack.
clue.
I wouldn't have known Jack.
There would have been a chance if somebody had rolled well on an Arcana check.
But there are stories of Rakshasa in history, and I knew them.
Yep, and another thing that your character will also know, by the way, is that the Rakshasa, for the most part, hang around and operate in the Great Desert. because
Okay.
I came up with this world a long time ago when I did not have much imagination, so
But I know where they're from. Okay, cool.
yeah. I mean, originally they were, like, from hell, but, you know.
Yeah, but I know where they like to be. The hottest place on the planet.
Well, also, with lots of wide open spaces with nobody in them, and then very concentrated locations with lots of people everywhere.
Yeah. So basically, I actually have a fair amount of information to share with these people.
Yep.
I know a
also
fair
have-
bit.
I have incomplete
They're-
floor plans for a place that I don't know about, and that this guy might know about.
There will also probably be, like, wars I could reference where they were involved, huh?
Yeah, including, like, the last Arcane Crusade. Or the Arcane
Oh.
Crusade, as you guys know of it.
Oh. So, important wars. Big wars.
To put it bluntly, they sided with the Red Dragons. Or the Chromatics, I should
Okay.
say. They sided with the
And
Chromatics.
we heard Big Red Scaly
Yeah.
from Zeenog. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, we're
Things are
totally
bad.
we're leveled for this, guys. I'm sure we can do it.
Actually, I feel like we got a little more information than you ever intended on giving us this early.
Admittedly, yes, because you guys rolled well. Some of the information I was
Yeah.
actually fully prepared to give you already, so...
But some of this was like big reveals later, right?
The Rockjaw was kind of a big thing, but
Sorry to ruin that for you.
it's not ruined, it's just extra information you guys have. If I didn't want you to
Which
have
is
it, I
cool.
wouldn't have told you.
True.
I would have continued to mislead you.
True. Because history is not always correct.
And to be fair, in this world, things are going to happen everywhere. You might not be leveled for it.
Yeah?
Such as fighting the dragon that is in this whole thing.
Okay,
We are
hear me
not
out.
ready to go after him.
Hear me out.
Huh.
Dragon friends. Dragon
Oh,
tales.
No.
Specifically, Red
No.
Dragon when you're working for a Gold Dragon.
We were pushing it with the Null friends.
Those
dude.
are kind of very
Dragon
big...
tales.
It would mean that you'd be trying to make friends out of two very opposing forces that want to murder each other and take what each other have.
Like
Yeah,
a cele-
broken that beast.
like a celestial and a demon.
Yeah.
No amount of persuasion will broker that peace.
I'm sure everything will be fine.
It would
No
require
amount
a...
of persuasion.
It would require a streak of nat 20s.
Yeah. Which can
However-
happen.
However, so we are nearing the point where we should normally be ending, but I do want to get you guys into the sergeant's office.
Yes. We must report.
So you will enter his office, and
And I'll be scribbling. I'll be like scribbling away with a piece of charcoal on something and smearing it out and scribbling away and trying to get the note just right to the king.
Chok's on your shoulder, like, you should put an apostrophe there. You
So
should
is
put
this
a space there?
is the screen only showing the gate with the two cannons for everybody? Is that just
yes,
Yes,
that's for
that's-
everyone, because that's where I have the
that's what-
player thing set to.
okay?
Yes.
The possible exception might be Metgath, because he's the one who set up this game, so he might...
I've been keeping myself at the player screen.
Okay.
Alright.
So-
So, yes.
You come into Stafford's office. Well, Stafford's temporary office. And as a note for Creed has been in this kingdom and near this kingdom for a bit, so he knows a little bit about some of the stuff around. And he'll be able to recognize the uniform for what it is. This guy is a member of what is called the Hammer Guard. Think basically U.S. Marshal.
By the way, would Bo know any of this, having been in the country long enough to learn the language?
Yes.
Okay. Didn't know.
Yeah, I mentioned this to you before when you first met him.
Right. Just wanted to make sure.
And when we get back, I'll look up and I'll say, we're back. They'll fill you in. I'm currently trying to get a note just right so I can know exactly what to say to the king. Mark and all.
The instruments of civil authority. All right.
What?
Nothing. Continue.
So I see you've gone and done that, eh?
Bo holds up a finger. Actually, we've come with a deal.
Which I will be sending on to the king as well.
I raise my bloody hand.
Why do I feel like I'm not going to like this idea?
Actually, if you think about it, I think you might. It's quite beneficial to all involved. The Gnolls, their requests are quite reasonable. They want a place to call their own, a piece of land for themselves where they can act as they will, and they want not to be hunted. In return, they will help defend this land and keep things under control in what is obviously a chaotic time.
And as an act of good faith, he even told us that the dragon that we're hunting is the king of one of the nearby nations.
Now here's the bit you may not like. There may very well be a Rakshasa involved.
The middleman between him and the dragon.
Indeed.
And he's already in negotiations with the dragon for the same deal.
Now, if we can deliver this before he does, then he will honor the agreement. Though, I must stress that all involved must abide, or it will not hold.
And I look up at the guy and I say, at the hammer guard, the captain, I say, and if we give him land that's outside the graveyard, it will pull his troops out of there. Trust me, it will be very difficult to root him out. Chances are we all would have died in the attempt. Or at least a good number of us, anyway.
Oh wait, that was the wrong number. I'll count the roll, but I'll just change what the number added to it was. So, I'm not familiar with whatever this... I'm not familiar with whatever this Rakshasa is, but... doesn't sound like it's particularly good. However...
So my guy would know that they sided with the other side, so as far as we're concerned, they're evil, correct?
Bo's probably already told you. That was my intent after the negotiation with the Gnolls.
Yeah, they're evil, they are fiendish in nature, which means that they are actually supernaturally compelled towards evil.
When he says when he finishes saying what he's saying, I look him square in the eyes and I say, they're fiendish. They worked for the other side in the Crusade.
Bo pipes up. I affectionately refer to them as Hellcats. They want to eat your soul.
Alrighty then. Let me think here. And then, sorry about my fact that I keep getting the voice wrong.
Oh, it's all good.
Alright then, land. I do actually have some authority for that.
Bo smiles. Very good. That means that we don't have to go wandering all the way back to the king.
And he'll go and pull up. He'll go and pull up several maps and
while he's pulling the maps out, I'll look over at Bo. That's who said that?
Yes.
I'll look over at Bo and say, we don't have to wander back to the king. I can send him a mental message.
Bo looks over at Denault. We need to talk before you send any messages then.
That's why I'm writing it down on this piece of wood, or whatever the heck it is my guy pulled out.
I'll write up something on the Rakshasa for you.
I'd like to look at the maps that the guard captain brought out, and I'm going to like to try and compare whatever deed I have on me to some unknown land and try to find it on this chart.
Well, it's
And
most of
bones.
his stuff is like landscape, and it doesn't show like city layouts or anything. It's landscape and with like dots where towns are.
Bo's going to look at Denault. I'll write up something on
Damn
the
it.
Rakshasa for you.
Okay.
Although, no, you said you're checking the deed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Okay.
gonna pull Bo off into a corner for a moment. So, how do I whisper in this?
/W space, and then you type in the username. I think you can also use the character name.
Bo.
So we really need to take care of this goblin situation.
Bo looks
Staying out of
over
control.
at Stafford real quickly. You're a good man, Stafford. Very good man. Bo likes him.
So yeah, I'm whispering to him, so that I'm sending him a whisper.
Yeah.
Alright.
As a note, I will need Bo to roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Ha!
I was going to ask if my piping up would give him any advantage, but he doesn't need it. The larger is
And
the
it
first.
would have, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So, okay. I can give them this chunk of land here for their living. They'll of course need to operate in a much greater area, but the lads won't like it, but I'll allow them access to the fort as well.
Whatever keeps the peace, correct?
And gets them out of our cemetery.
Yes.
Bo raises his hand. I could float the idea at the card game tonight. See if I can get them get the boys amenable to it.
They'll follow orders one way or another.
We've made
Oh
him
my,
follow
that's a
orders
good idea.
before. And I just kind of smile knowingly to the captain.
Oh
Captain
my
or
god!
sergeant? What was he?
Sergeant.
I'm
Sergeant.
such a
I'll say
moron. We could have
Sergeant.
used the D to try and fix the situation.
Oh,
He
Could've
has a
just given
deed
this-
to some unknown property.
We could have
Yeah,
literally just
yeah.
given that to the fucking gnolls and they would have been fine with that.
Not necessarily.
They
'cause
would
you
want to
don't
know
where it
exactly
is.
where that is.
Yeah,
They do
Uh-huh.
that's
have
the
the
issue.
God damn it.
yep.
Now you could have lied to them and tell them that it's a different piece of land, but then you would have had to deal with the locals that are over there.
And
Yes.
the fact that Zeenog would hunt you down.
Personally.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. He
personally.
would come after you himself.
And actually, there was one thing I forgot to do earlier, which was have specifically Chok roll a Arcana check.
Oh, should I do that now?
Yes.
So what was my persuasion for?
That's a 13.
Convincing the guard captain to actually do what you wanted with the giving them the property.
Well, I succeeded.
Yeah. So, Chok, you would have recognized that whole blood sharing thing and the licking of the blood as a kind of way of being able to set up to track you down later.
Oh.
Yeah.
As well as, making a
Don't
binding
screw
agreement
over
in cultural
Zeenog.
stuff.
Don't screw over Zeenog.
Cool. Wait,
So-
does that mean I'm connected to Zeenog somehow?
It means you're connected to Zeenog, and if he gets himself if he has any sort of magic users anywhere in his area that know divination spells in particular,
They can find you.
yeah.
Is the process reversible?
It probably wears off.
No, not reversible like that. I mean, can I do it the other way around?
Yes, you can scry on him as well.
Oh, lovely.
It's a two-way
Oh
street,
my.
because you did in
So
fact
it's
drink his blood.
Though, right?
It's a double-edged sword for Zeenog.
Yeah. If Zeenog hadn't handed Chok the bowl afterwards, it would have been a one-way street.
Does Zeenog know that?
For him, it's a cultural thing.
Ah,
He
you do it both ways.
yeah.
So I'm the peeping Tom in this scenario. I like it.
Oh my.
Giggity.
Alright. So, alright. Alright, so, this piece of land here ought to work just fine for them. It's at the base of a mountain nearby. Well, nearby-ish. It's a few miles. It's
Of
got
course,
some.
we don't want them too close.
It's got some land that can be cultivated, and a bit of forest.
I think they might like that. The forest will provide good hunting. I don't see them cultivating much, but should they decide to, they have the choice.
So what's the sergeant's name?
I believe
Stafford.
it's Torek Stafford?
I think we were just calling him Stafford.
Yeah, Sergeant Stafford,
Yeah.
because his last name is Stafford, yeah. Torek
Everyone
Stafford.
calls
okay.
him Stafford, I'm thinking.
For the most part, yeah, because that's a thing of respect, as you call them by their last name.
Yeah.
So, alright. You guys have actually gotten past the part of things where I thought things would go silly and potentially bad, and you guys rolled rather well.
The dice did not like your plan.
Persuasion checks were real, dude.
Oh, fuck, and if you knew what I was trying to do, you guys would have yelled at me.
What were you trying to do?
Okay, here's my plan, quote unquote.
Oh no.
Basically, Chok didn't have to do anything. It was his fucking weasel that had to do everything. Because basically, his weasel's in his robes, right? And his robes are basically a general store, but smaller scale. You could walk in and get practically anything. So, what I did was I took one of the bombs, and as soon as I took it, I asked my weasel in a series of instructions to take a stick, a vial of water, and some sealing wax, as well as a cloth bag.
No.
I opened the vial and used the cloth to wet the fuse, dulling the fuse out just enough for it to slowly burn. And then when wet, I asked the familiar to use its ability to channel my magic to heat up the sealing wax and delicately and then gently coat the wet fuse to ensure they would be very slow burning. I would have then, if the scenario was very, very important and or needed, would have lit the fuse myself, daintily asked my goddamn familiar to carry it along with all the other explosives that are not lit under Zeenog's throne, and I would have simply just called back my familiar into his level plane. He wouldn't even have to go in my robe.
Explosives
Oh my God,
under
it would've killed us all.
Explosives under Xenog's throne? That's not where the powder room is.
That's not where the powder room is, but the room is small as fuck, and Zeenog would die.
Oh, okay. Put the explosives under him. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Small room causes this whole thing to collapse, maybe even more.
And then give
us.
And then
So-
do a TPK.
No, because it's a slow burning fuse, which means we would have had time to leave, and then once we did, who the fuck knows?
Yeah. So, you guys have managed to find a peaceable way through all of this.
Stage bow.
Creativity for the win.
Creativity
Thank
for the
you,
win,
thank
and
you.
persuasion checks for the win.
Oh yes.
I still have
I
that
was
fucking bomb, by the
praying
way.
every time I rolled the dice, by the way.
You guys kind of lucked out. I was really expecting you guys to screw things up and for him to basically issue a challenge, or for you to try to keep your promise to your guide friend.
Unfortunately, he was lower on the totem pole.
Yeah, well,
We found a better deal.
Yeah.
yeah.
Joey.
If you guys had fought Zeenog, if one of you had fought Zeenog one-on-one in a fight and won,
Chances are we.
you could have
Yeah.
appointed whoever you wanted as the chief.
I don't think he
Good.
would have won.
Gun. You know, if let's say I had challenged him and morphed into a bear, used the enlarged potion, killed Zeenog, then changed back and said, "You know what? I am now your leader. I am your god. You will worship me."
No.
They would not have gone for the god thing. Chief,
Okay,
yes.
I-
God, hell no.
They would have
God,
been very
okay,
mad because Zenogu.
I
Here's the
would
thing,
have.
though.
I would have worked that in slowly then.
I have the actor thing, which means I can mimic speech perfectly. If we kill that fucker and somehow manage to illusion me up a nice little outfit to sit on that throne and command them, as long as I had thaumaturgy and imitated the big-ass voice, I could just lead the gnolls.
The problem is, he was size large. You are size small?
Yes.
Yeah.
Paper mache
Consummation of
outfit,
mass.
which means
Paper mache
Conservation
would
of
not have
mass.
worked.
they would have to ask, why does our leader never get off his chair? To which the leader responds with, shut up.
And then you would have had a coup on your hands, which would have been bad because you would have been there alone. Anyways,
Come
so
on, Goblin
So-
War Boss, come on.
moving
So-
on.
Nerd, in handouts, there is message to King. That is what I'm going to send him.
Okay. So I'll be getting to that in a little bit. Alright. So, you guys have gotten things settled with the sergeant. And I'm assuming you guys are going to go and get something to eat all together or something?
Well, we also all had good berries.
Oh, there's that. So,
Except for
as you
me.
guys are
can't
sitting
eat
Going to
there...
the
We just don't
tavern
need
for-
to.
So as you guys
I'm
are all...
going to the tavern for gambling.
Well, as you're, getting ready to leave, what was her name? Dwarf lady.
Oh,
Vistra?
Great name.
Vistra. I remember
No.
because it's given to 2 people.
No, the other one.
Other one?
Dwarf.
It was before Jonathan. Sheila Frostbrand,
Okay.
the rookie
Not
hammer
sure
guard,
who this is.
who was
Oh.
the assistant to Sergeant Stafford,
Yeah.
is going to come sprinting into the room. The caravan! It's... Having sprinted into the room, and she seems to be hyperventilating at this point.
I'll just
Slow
kind
down,
of...
catch your breath.
I slap her. Snap out of it!
Damn. I'm gonna say, damn, I was gonna ask permission to do that.
Bo's just going to gently rest a hand on her shoulder, catch your breath, think, then speak.
It's under attack!
I pull out my
Knowles?
walk. I lift my walking stick. Well, I guess it's time for us to go.
What's attacking it? Knowles?
I don't know. There's lots of screaming and explosions.
Show us the way.
7
And
hells.
Jonathan will, at this point, he's been following you guys for a while. Well,
God,
it has
I'm
been
still
fun
here.
running around with you, but I think I'll stay here at this point.
Who are you even?
Bo
I may,
looks over at him. I honestly forgot you were there. You've been so quiet.
and I'll say thank you for the assistance because I did bring him along as another guide, a secondary guide.
Yeah, so he operated as a secondary guide. He also operated as a healer for you guys for a bit. And he did unleash with that pistol.
Bo will say that was a rather nice shot, though.
You
Did hit the shapeshifter. He just kind of chuckles.
I am a historian and storyteller as my primary professions, as well as a studier of various regions. And I've been studying this region in particular for quite a while, and I've gotten quite a nice story from all of this.
I'm sorry there wasn't more blood for it.
It is plenty fine.
After all, who would expect some dwarves to walk into a gnomish facility and negotiate peace?
And
Stories of peace are always good.
maybe I'll even publish something about this. Anyways,
Make
for
sure
sure.
to spell my name right.
As we're sprinting out of the room, I'm going to say to myself, who thunk it? I left my city fearing for its defeat, and now I might become famous. As I'm sprinting out of the room.
So, you guys will go sprinting out of the fort and down the road towards the north. Explosions and screaming happening up ahead. And the caravan is very much under attack. As you start to crest over a small hill, you will look out across the devastation. And that is where we're going to be ending it for the night. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to support us, please subscribe. And if you want to be kept up to date on all of our nerdy content, hit the Nerd Alert bell after subscribing. So guys, any closing comments?
To everyone, good night and have a good berry.
No friends are best friends.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So,
Kind of sad I didn't get to use that long fused dynamite piece, but
You
that
may
is more than
still
fine.
get to. You may
Maybe.
still get
you might get
Because
to. This might
we
be the
don't know
fight where you get
who's
to use
attacking.
it. So,
It really does.
till next time, be awesome to each other.
And have a good berry.